Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to go and talk about all this nice little upcoming PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X restocks, as well as also going to give you guys the nice little weekly recap of basically everything had a chance to go on all throughout this week. We had a very kind of mediocre week, I'll be fully honest with you guys, which is why I'm actually having a nice little, over here. But yeah, this really wasn't that good of a week so far. So we're going to talk about that, talk about the upcoming rumors. We'll probably have a lot more videos all throughout this weekend. And as well, I just appreciate you guys always so much for watching. As well as a quick reminder too, we have been mentioning quite a bit throughout this week our brand new Samsung, links down below with the SSDs up on sale. I do highly implore you guys go check them on out. I picked one up myself. We also do have the Samsung phones down below too as well, in case you guys want to go check those on out. And as well, the Amazon links, which we'll maybe be watching throughout this weekend. And on top of that too, Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. Sign up for that Weeble, deposit $100, get a bunch of free stock, free money. And of course, like I said, leave your thoughts and comments if you guys got lucky and got a console somehow throughout this week, which I kind of highly doubt because we had a very quiet week. Let's go and talk about it. So the very first kind of big news that was kind of floating around, we'll probably have another proper separate video throughout this week and weekend, is on the Target drop. Now, we were kind of seeing some little baby bits of movement, little baby bits of stock arrivals, and little baby bits of warehouse news, which was probably why I want to reach out to quite a few Target employees all throughout this weekend and try to get more details for us all. But the one big struggle for all of this is it really didn't seem like nothing really happened. So we'll try to give you guys more updates all throughout this entire weekend. We don't usually see Target do any weekend restocks, and a lot more of the bigger retailers are more on the chiller side besides Amazon, which we'll get to in a second. I'll probably be watching that throughout the day-to-day videos as well. But when it comes to all this type of stuff, Target has a pretty good likelihood, I would say, for this upcoming week, and especially if you see more stock arrivals, we'll probably be watching for Target drop on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll probably go a lot more in-depth on the weekly video because we'll have a lot more details and information and stock numbers and all that stuff we basically get from a lot of employees, so we'll give you guys more details when it comes to that. The next one will actually be maybe for even potentially tomorrow. Amazon, where we actually still haven't seen any like Amazon stock arrivals or stock movements, but that was kind of our big focus where I'm actually very surprised. In all honesty, I'm actually somewhat surprised and also somewhat kind of disappointed that we basically saw almost nothing. Like we basically saw almost zero stock and zero restocks from even like those mid-tier retailers besides walk-ins, which thankfully we'll probably cover a lot more walk-ins all throughout this weekend. But when it comes to stock and everything, we had nothing. There was no Xboxes, there was no PlayStations, there was no digitals, nothing from Amazon. Besides the fact that we did go and have all the other regions get their restocks. We had like Canada, we had Mexico, we had the UK, we had some other various European countries, which does tone up the likelihood of maybe a drop tomorrow. We'll touch on a little bit more, but like at any point, maybe we have seen Saturday drops. Although it's been more so on the weekdays throughout these past few months, we have on occasion seen some Saturday restocks, but I'm just generally very surprised on how disappointing this week was. Like, you'd really kind of go and think that there'd be something, although I think the one big issue is that we just got off of Christmas, just got off of Black Friday, and we also had like the very tail end of like whatever leftover stock was throughout December. So it's a little bit like it would kind of make sense why everything's a little bit more on the drier side. Thankfully, we'll probably go and pick up on, especially as of last week, because so many locations are overdue. And another big one was on the Walmart side. The past 2 weeks, I've been like, well, in terms of like overall like vibes, in terms of overall stock expectations, in terms of like the fact that all the stock has almost been delivered, that's kind of been my big struggle when it comes to Walmart, is they also did not restock. Now, we were kind of maybe middle expecting that just because like everything else was so quiet throughout this week. And we do think Target might be a good front runner to kind of basically put a lot more attention on all these restocks and all these drop numbers and all of that. But the one big struggle is the fact that we also didn't see Walmart. And that kind of makes me sad. Although at this point, I'd probably put Walmart almost at 100%. I'll put like a 99% as of next week, where it's going to be such a major big focus because it's been like 3 weeks and everyone has pretty much all their stock from these previous drops already. So it just kind of makes sense on why I would be expecting that, why I'd be waiting for it, and why we'll probably be watching that drop happening throughout this upcoming week. As well, for even more bigger disappointments, Best Buy. Best Buy literally did nothing throughout this entire week. They did have a cool little feel like TV sales, which is nice, and this will probably the prep up when it comes to like the Super Bowl, which we actually might go make some videos on that for the Super Bowl too as well, in case you guys want to see it. But when it comes to that, Best Buy also did literally nothing. Although once again, this is kind of a nice thing to go and let these stores kind of build up stock, have some stock in these warehouses and movements. But when it comes to Best Buy, they basically had zero stock. And then that regards of like, they had a few stores that had some stock and walk-in, same thing with the Target stores too as well, where they had a little bit of stock buildup, a little bit of movement, a little bit of stuff in general, but it really was kind of very laid back, and even then, it was kind of low. You guys can still keep on checking that. I'll probably touch on that more tomorrow morning, but if you guys want to go check the app and check your website, we have still been seeing a few little bonus stock floating around when it comes to all these consoles, which is just nice. We like seeing it. We like seeing the stock movement. We like seeing people getting their consoles. It's just a good vibe, and at the end of the day, I'd rather people get their consoles, even if it's kind of more on the rarer side. GameStop, I was actually expecting to drop because they had commissions updated, which will still maybe be lined up maybe for an early Tuesday drop next week. But we never saw any pro tweets. We never saw any pro emails. We never saw any leaks for it. And once again, why this was kind of a very disappointing week. There was just nothing. Like, it was just like the Sahara Desert. Although we did have the big acquisition news, I'm sure you guys saw, with Bungie buying up, or not Bungie buying, PlayStation buying up Sony. One of these days, PlayStation buying up Bungie, and we saw some other little acquisition news as we made in the video before with Capcom and all that stuff. But it's kind of crazy just to see on how very laid back everything's been. It's just basically nothing happened besides those big acquisitions. Even on the Xbox side, there really wasn't even Xbox restocks at all throughout the week. And of course, as well, all the big boy retailers were just very, very chill. Basically, nothing happened, which once again, though, we'll have a nice little bump up for next week, and we'll go a lot more in details for the weekly videos. But even Anton Line, like, I'll even maybe look on Anton Line's Twitter as of right this second. But it's crazy because they literally did nothing. Like, they did do an Xbox giveaway, which is kind of cool. But other than that, like, they literally did nothing throughout this week. They did I could even show you guys right here. They literally did an Xbox Series S drop on February 3rd. Like this is the type of drop we got throughout this week. So a little bit sad on Anton Line for that one, but they did technically do a next gen console technically, so it's fine. What can you do, I guess? What can you do? We did also have a GameFly drop, which was pretty much the only big boy, and also, like, the Costco. Didn't see anything from PS5 or Xbox from them. They're on bundles. We didn't see anything when it came to Sam's Club. We didn't see anything when it came to, like, pretty much anything. Even, like, Newegg was kind of dry throughout this week, and it really, God, if anything, kind of somewhat disappointed me in the fact that all these big retailers didn't go and do any console drops. Literally, it was very, very quiet. Just nothing basically happened all throughout this entire week. So I'm a little bit on the sad side for that one, and I'm a little bit also on the disappointing side, but once again, I'm more of definitely like a glass half full type of guy, where once we go get consoles, once we get like more stock arrivals, once you guys get your consoles in general, it'll just be a little bit more on the chiller side. At least we do have a few little giveaways going on too as well, which is also kind of nice. Although I do want to say, and we'll probably cover this a lot more throughout this weekend, at least the walk-ins went pretty good. Like, we didn't see any Microsoft Store, we didn't see any PS Directs, we didn't see Lenovo drops, we didn't even see like a weird like a Verizon or anything else drop, which kind of made me sad in all honesty. But at least we did see a lot of walk-ins, and I do want to say we'll probably dedicate an entire video tomorrow morning for walk-ins and overall various restocks for it, like such as the BJ Store, which I think really was the big clear winner for this drop. Like, a lot of people got it, and we'll probably still be seeing more stock arrivals. And if you guys did throughout the week, leave a comment down below. I'll make sure to go cover it, or send me a tweet, and I'll make sure to cover it tomorrow morning. But that was kind of the big whammy, where that's pretty much the only stock we basically saw all throughout these past few days. Like, that really was the only big stuff we saw. So that was one big thing. We did see some Meijer stuff. We'll probably reach out to employees right now and give you guys an update tomorrow and get more details for it. Same with the Krogers and Fred Meyers and everything else. But this really was just an overall disappointing week. Because we also did go and have that really bad news that PlayStation is cutting down production. They don't want to be making as many consoles. They're kind of toning down the amount and their physical numbers, which in all honesty is actually very not good. I do know a lot of you guys thankfully have gotten your consoles, and thankfully as well, scalper prices have also gone down, and I'm sure it's not going to bounce back that high. I'm sure, like, especially after like we have another 11 months for the holidays. Like, we got a while, but it does kind of make me a little bit on the sadder side, because I do know a lot of you guys want to get your consoles. A lot of you guys want to get your consoles and drops and kind of enjoy the games. So we'll also have to maybe go and see throughout these next few weeks, because they could also be holding out stock for Horizon. As you guys know, Horizon's coming out in about 2 weeks or so from now, about a week and a half or so. So maybe we'll see some good drops throughout that week regardless, and have the console show up for that. And I know I've also had a lot of tweets mentioning how they want to get Horizon 2 as well. And thankfully that is kind of like the last, I think, major big AAA game that we have to worry about. And this is why I kind of think a lot of these consoles might be a little bit easier to go get throughout these next few days. I may even go dedicate a video on that too as well. But overall, we had a very disappointing week, a very disappointing time. I'm overall kind of disappointed when it comes to Sony. I'm a little bit kind of disappointed on what they're kind of been doing with their consoles. And it does kind of stink a lot that they've kind of toned down their restock numbers in general. Like, it's really, really sad. So I'm going to hold this upcoming week, and especially this weekend when it comes to walk-in news. Make sure you guys are subscribed for that. We'll hopefully be better. We'll hopefully be more chill. We'll hopefully a little bit more laid back and get more consoles at all just throughout any time at all. But at the end of the day, they have to make the consoles, they have to move the consoles, and I'm sure a lot of things are still kind of backlogged. So I kind of give them a little bit of a free pass, although I don't want to give them the biggest free pass out there. So if you guys did get your console, if it arrived, or you got to walk in, leave a comment down below. We'll try to go our best to track up more stock and give you updates throughout the weekend if we can. And of course, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. We'll be watching that throughout the weekend. Definitely go check out the Samsung SSDs down below. I highly recommend them, and they are on sale. Same too as well with the for the actual $50 gift card too. So check out those links down below. Twitter and Twitch if you guys want to follow, and sign up for that Weeble and Coinbase. And we'll hope you have a really good rest of our weekend. And I'll give you guys a lot more videos all as well if you guys want to be on the lookout. Love you guys.